This is what we do every week, helping people out, diving a little bit deeper in that, talking about clearing, cleansing some of those things from your bodies, from your energy.
This is more my space. So Zach's more real estate space. I'm more in the energetics and so.
And you should listen to her because she's really freaking smart when it comes to these things.
He is like the happiest, most positive person that I know. So much so I'm like, is this real? Like, but it is.
I'm an expert in creative finance, love creative finance, talk to States off about that and all the wonderful things with that, mindset, and raising private capital.
I'm an energy healer. I teach intuitive development and spiritual mentor, and I help people learn about themselves and how to use their energy and the energy around them to create realities that they really enjoy and want.
Whatever comes up for you guys. That's the point. That's the beauty of you guys showing up here live for everything, is that we want to answer your questions. We want to dive deeper into your examples. We want to help you specifically. Hey everyone, happy Monday. Here we are again.
Hello.
This is Monique. I am Zach, and we're on this energetic alignment and mindset podcast, looking to help you guys out, trying some new things, get your mind in that right space to just achieve everything that you want in this world, right? Because it's entirely possible. And, you know, usually it's our mind that ends up getting in the way of it a lot of the time. So here we go. All right, everybody. So you guys know us. I'm a real estate investor living in Ohio, making this baby with this wonderful energy healer and intuitive coach, Monique. So this is a lot of her space, but I love sharing it with everyone because it affects us in everything that we do. So my gosh, the more I can learn about this stuff, the better I feel, the more that I can help other people around me deal with their situations and what's going on in their head and everything they've dealt with their whole lives. It's a breath of fresh air for everything. So yeehaw, we're excited to be here. Get some good stuff for you. I have some news today. So making sure anybody knows, this Friday, I have a local meetup in Ohio for real estate, Subto, all that fun stuff. Come say, hey, Monique will be there too. So even if you don't like real estate.
I'm not in labor.
If she's not in labor,
hey, Carolyn, she
might be there too. And that's the other news is, so baby Mav is ready to pop, you hope. So yeah. Any week now, this thing could be crawling around or slithering around in our living room. So that'll be an exciting experience for sure. Yeah, get your tickets to that streaming. Check her page.
Streaming. There's no streaming.
We'll see, right? Got to do a little bit of OnlyFans. YOLO, right? You only live once.
No.
Okay. So anyway, comment. Like you guys have already started to do. Feel free. Say anything to us and we'll ignore it if it's not cool. And we'll tell you if it is awesome. No, I appreciate all that. So as always, you're going to know that are we going to take time off for our podcast when the baby is here? Great question.
So I'm actually thinking this might be the last week that we do this until the baby gets here, because I am incredibly uncomfortable and it's a little hard to sit here and do this. So when I have the baby, as long as I'm not in labor on like a Sunday or a Monday, because we will do this on Monday, then we'll probably keep it going, like maybe take a week off, but I think I could just hold him and keep this up for 45 minutes. I don't think that would be hard.
Yeah, or maybe we move something somewhere. Yeah.
We might have to move shop into the living room. Maybe,
we might be a living room, cozy, comfortable, whatever works for her.
Scenery might change, but the show will go on.
Yeah, maybe I'll stay here. You'll be there. I could handle some things while you just are on your phone. Yeah, so there's some possibilities. We'll see. If you guys love it and want to get your daily dose of feeling better and improving your lives, it's fun for me too, because it affects us and we're always looking to improve. I don't know if you've seen, we've done a lot of tapping in the mornings lately. So that's pretty fun. That's been great. Starts my day out wonderfully, actually. So tap, tap, tap away. If you've never done it, I mean, try it out. It's interesting stuff. It really is. Monique was teaching some courses on that just a little while ago, and I think she still has those available. So I've been doing them because they are fun. They're awesome, right? One more way to hack our brain. So absolutely. All right. So here, getting back on track. If there's any more questions about baby Mav, I will be able to take those and stop everything that we're doing because I'm kind of obsessed with our baby coming in. But I love it. So yeah, energetic alignment, everyone. This is what we do. This is what we talk about every week, that and mindset. But it's when your mind, your body, your spirit, they're all synced up, right? Everything is feeling stupendous. The world is easy and everything is aligning for you. You're getting what you want, right? And when things are not like that, usually it's because we've got some clouded up gunk in our head that we just have to clear out, cleanse. How many ways can we clear it and cleanse it is the question at that point. So yeah, feel free to type in here if you're ready to go, excited, let's go, anything like that. Yeah, like it, love it, all that cool stuff. You can definitely work with us beyond this. There's some groups I know that she has. I'm looking to start some things. I've got a Meetup, and we all do
announcements,
one-on-one stuff.
Did you make all your announcements?
Yeah, kind of. Why?
Oh, you talked about your Meetup on Friday?
I did.
Oh, that's where my head is.
Yeah. So I do have a Meetup on Friday again for anyone. It's every month. Yeah. Remember, that's where you're saying you might not be there.
Oh yeah, if I'm in labor.
Baby brain is a real thing.
Baby brain is a real thing. Didn't think it would affect me until it did.
So prepare yourself for that, women and men, because, you know, a little bit of patience goes a long ways when it's someone you love, especially, and everything that you do. But yeah, absolutely. You can work with us one-on-one. Everyone likes to do stuff. We love doing what we do. We love doing it for a group, but we also love doing it one-on-one because it's a lot more pointed attention. We can get more specific results with people, which is also really fun to see. I love it all. So anyway, all right, rolling into the next topic. What we talked about last week was chakras. So we've been on this chakra series and all your different upper and lower echelons of chakras and everything like that. So yeah, we're going to teach you today how to improve your relationship and magnetize your energy. Boom, boom. Doesn't that sound great, guys? She's going to really be teaching you that. I'm going to be like, huh? And break things down for you.
Yeah. So a couple of weeks ago, we talked about the heart. And then from there, we went down to the root. And last week we did the root. So if you missed that, I would recommend going and watching that. And then this week, we're going to talk about the sacral center. And the root is considered like the first chakra or energy center, and then the sacral is considered the second. The sacral is located in the physical space of the womb for the woman and the energetic space of the womb for the man. So literally where your uterus, where you carry life, where you create life, that is the physical representation of your sacral energy center. And like I've said in the past, I will oscillate between energy center and chakra. Because energy center, to me, it gives it a more grounded term. It's a center full of energy. It corresponds to nerve bundles in the body, and it's picking up on the subtle energy in your environment and relaying that information back to you. And it is taking your energy from your nervous system, what your nervous system is giving off, and then giving that out into the world. So your energy centers, they are like a representation of the past. They're your stories, right? We hold the stories of who we are in our energy centers, but we can change the energy in our energy centers by consciously working with them. And most people don't even realize that we're energetic, let alone have energy centers. And once you do, then you realize, wow, there's this whole other plane of myself that I can start to work with. It's not just my physical body and my musculoskeletal system and my immune system and my mind and my heart and all of those things, but there is an energetic system as well. And the energetic system affects the physical aspect of us more than the physical aspect affects the energetic. So when we address things on the energetic level, we are also addressing them on the physical level, because all energy creates matter. So when we work with energy, we are shifting matter more so than when we're just trying to change things around us, hoping that it sticks. We have to change ourselves first. We have to change the energy that we bring to the table first. Our energy field is made up of our thoughts, our emotions, the words we speak, and then the actions that we take. So our sacral center, the second center of the major energy centers in the body, recognized in most cultures around the world. That is how it's recognized. The color represented here is orange, and it is the womb space. It is the center of life force energy because it corresponds to our sensual and sexual nature. And so when we exchange energy with someone in relationship, or platonically or romantically, we are exchanging energy with them through our sacral center. And our sacral center is formed in childhood. So around the age 7, all the way up to about the age 12 or 13, the sacral center really starts to form an identity. And this is how you learn to identify within the relationships with your body and with other people. Okay, so if you remember the root center, it was helping us learn our place with our tribe, our family dynamics, who we are, how we identified. Well, your sacral center now is how you show up in those relationships and the quality of the relationships that you attract to you. So your sacral center corresponds physically to anything like around your hips. So your hips, your womb space, your sexual organs for both male and female, your pancreas, and also some of your intestines. And then also your low back is corresponded to your sacral center, and your sex drive is corresponded to your sacral center. And then emotionally, it holds the emotions, the heavier emotions of shame and some guilt, but it also gives off the emotion of like connection. Well, it gives off the experience of connection. And when our sacral center is very open and healthy, we are literally magnetic to things that we want, because it is the center of that life force energy, of that. It's how we express ourselves. And when we are in a true connection with our body and we're expressing ourselves through that connection with our body, then we're attracting whatever is meant for us on the most authentic level possible. Does that make sense? Make sense?
Yeah.
Why do you say it like that?
No, it's good. So it's this whole region of yours down here, and maybe that's where we notice some energy from that. I'm curious where we might notice something from that. Or is that just, will we feel anything in that region?
When the sacral center is out of balance, you may experience a tight low back. You may experience low back pain. Your hips may be painful. You may experience things like UTIs or bladder infections. You may have issues with fertility. You may experience symptoms of diabetes or prediabetes. And you also may experience like toxic relationships coming into your life, finding yourself in and out of toxic relationships, whether that be platonic or romantic, finding yourself in situations where you constantly feel like you have to defend yourself, or you can't fully be yourself. You're not fully connected to yourself. When it's out of balance as well, you may feel like you don't belong, like you can't fit in, or like within relationship dynamics, it's almost as if you're being used or you're allowing yourself to be used. Right? That's where that toxicity comes in. So we are wanting to connect with people just for the experience and not for the emotional connection. And when I say connect with people, I mean sleep with people. Right? So we will attract relationships into our life on a platonic or a professional level that just drive us crazy. They ignite feelings of shame within us, of embarrassment, of us having to feel like we have to prove ourselves when our sacral center is out of whack. On a romantic level, we will attract just toxic relationships in general, where our partners are just unhealthy people to be with. Like the relationship is unhealthy. If you've experienced some type of sexual abuse, then you may have distortion in your sacral center. So you will want to spend some time with your sacral center, just connecting to this area of your body. So like I said, for last week, spend some time sending your awareness to your root, just noticing, how does this space feel? What does this space need to be healthy and vibrant today? Do the same thing with your sacral center. So to send your awareness to that womb space. Women, this is a little easier for us because we actually have that physical womb space. But for men, it's just sending that awareness right below your belly button, and just asking, how does this feel? Is there anything here? What does this space need to be healthy and vibrant? Because when this space is healthy and vibrant, our masculine energies and our feminine energies tend to be more balanced. So when we have an expressed sacral center or a healthy sacral center, then that's where that magnetism comes in. That's where people walk up to you on the street and they're like, I don't know what it is about you, but like, I just feel like I have to compliment you. Or I just feel like I have to tell you like how beautiful you are, how attractive you are. Or I feel like I just want to like, if you're like an entrepreneur, like I just want to give you my business. Like business is going really good. Money is coming in very, very easily. Relationships are thriving with a healthy sacral center and an expressed sacral center. And it's like when you walk by people and people just like can't get enough of you. Right. You are the most popular person in the room, or there's like a bright light shining on you. When our sacral center is healthy and we're acting from that space, we're acting from a healthy sacral center, meaning we're acting from feeling very connected with ourselves, very connected with our body. And we trust ourselves. We trust our inner knowing more than what our external experience is showing us. And we act from that space, regardless of what our head is telling us. That's when we can activate our sacral center a little bit more, when we can make the energy a little more potent and a little more magnetic. So how we can get to these spaces are, one, sending your energy there. Where your attention goes, energy flows. So we want to send our energy to our sacral center. We want to take time every day to send our energy to our sacral center, even if it's just checking in. And just saying like, okay, what's going on here? How does this feel? What do I feel like I need for this space to feel healthy and vibrant? And just sit and wait for an answer. Maybe you'll get something, maybe you won't, but maybe later on in the day, you'll have an urge to do something. There's your answer, right? So a part of these exercises are also like you developing trust within yourself. Because in order to have a healthy expression of all of our energy centers, we have to trust ourselves. If we don't trust ourselves, then we're going to continue to outsource our energy to everything around us, and we'll never be able to connect to the energy within us. So we have to learn to trust ourselves, which these exercises will help with that. Something else that you can do is show yourself some love. Do things that feel good just because they feel good. Pleasure. Pleasure for some people is a 4-letter word, and it feels icky to even hear it or say it for some reason. However, pleasure is how we connect to our sacral center, because our sacral center is the sensual center of our body. It is the sexual center of our body. It is the life force center of our body. And someone who's in much more pleasure probably is enjoying life a little bit more than someone else who is just focusing on the pain of life or the negatives of life, right? So when we can focus on pleasure or do things just because they feel good, we're activating our sacral center. So this might be just go get an ice cream cone because you want one. Take the left turn because you felt like it. Talk to that person just because there's something about them. Versus, well, I need to do this or I should do this. If we're shoulding ourselves, we are shaming ourselves, and shame depresses the sacral center. So we get to practice doing things just because we want to, just because it feels good. It feels good in our body. It feels expansive in the body. And this is a lot of like self-care. A lot of us will put ourselves on the back burner. But if we can do things that show us, I love myself, we are activating the energy in our sacral center. Therefore, we're becoming more magnetic to what we actually want and less of a match to what we don't want. How's that?
Yeah, so we all want more sacral centers. So we got it. It's useful. It connects everyone to everyone, and it's super sexy, so tons of fun. But yeah, like how do we harness it? How do we check in, see if it's clogged up? I mean, how do we know, as we're scanning all these different ones, all these different energy centers in our body, how do we know, like, okay, now I should focus on this one versus the other ones, or anything like that?
That's a good question. And you should focus on them all. That would be like, okay, today I'm only going to focus on my right foot.
But when I just learned the word right foot, all I want to do is like hop on my right foot and see how long I can hop on it.
But if you're only focusing on your right foot, then you're neglecting every other part of your body. So if you only focus on your right foot, then other parts of your body are going to break down, or they're going to need attention, and you're not going to give them that attention because you're only focused on the one space.
For sure.
So this is where it's like the body does not work in silos. It is a system, and the entire energetic system has to be addressed if we want to feel our best and to attract the best relationships into our life and attract the best experiences in our life. This is a practice, you guys. And I know that people hearing that, they're like, oh, fuck that. I don't want to do that. We all want the quick fix. I get it. But the quick fix happens after consistent effort and after a lifestyle change. And so with this type of work, especially with this type of work, because so many of us are so disconnected for so long from our energy space, our energetic body, we have to rebuild that connection. So think about when you're born, you are building a connection with the world around you by first learning how to roll, then you're crawling, then you're walking, then you're bumping into things, you're putting things into your mouth, you're smelling things. You are building this connection with the world around you using your physical senses, right? Now we need to build the connection with the world around us using our energetic senses. And just like there's that progression of rolling to crawling to walking to putting things in our mouth and picking up different things and feeling different things. Hey, Angie. This is the same type of experience that we get to have with our energy body. So yes, we want to focus on our sacral center. So to answer your question, it's kind of the exercise that I said earlier is you start by sending your awareness there, by sending your awareness to the parts of your body that the sacral center represents, because the sacral center, this is something else. We're so obsessed with the physicality of the human experience, but we're not physical. We are energetic first, and that translates into a physical experience. So we have to practice sending our attention to the space within our body. So the space within your womb space, so the underneath your belly button, between your belly button and your pelvis, that's the area that the sacral center takes up. So practice sending your awareness just to that space, noticing how that space feels. It's going to feel weird at first. It might feel different at first if you've never done it. And if you have done it, you're going to be like, oh, this is child's play, no big deal. But it always helps to reestablish that connection, because we can go on autopilot and just kind of disconnect from the practice, because it is a practice. And in order to keep our energy body really healthy, we want to check in with it. Just like if you are always ignoring your low back and you're never stretching, you're never doing exercises, one day your low back's going to give out. And you're going to be like, oh shit, my low back, like what is happening? This just happened all of a sudden. What you're not thinking about, the months that you have been doing hard labor, or the months that you've been sitting at a desk, or the months that you've been neglecting stretching and moving and working out. It didn't just happen all of a sudden. So it's that ability to have that awareness that this is something that it's a practice. It's a lifestyle change. It is something that I get to do every day because I care about how I feel. I care about my body. And when we can work with our energy systems in this way, this is where like crazy things happen. Like our bodies heal spontaneously. The relationship that we want, that ideal relationship that we're waiting on, walks into our life. The opportunity just pops up out of the blue because we do this consistently, and we shift our energy first. We shift who we are being first, and our physical reality responds to that. Okay, so I can't give you this like tactical definition of what it is because it's energetic. So we can't use the logical mind to understand, okay, it is this thing.
I think you already told us a lot about what it is in the beginning.
Yeah, but you asked, that was like a question that you asked too, like, what is it? How do I harness it and stuff? It's like you harness it by sending your awareness there.
Mm-hmm.
And then focusing on.
So I was just trying to say like, okay, yes, we're going to work out the whole body, but there's going to be a leg day. There's going to be, an eyelash day, whatever. There's going to be the different days. So when you're just working through all the different energy centers, yes, we want to bring attention there. We want to notice things there. You've given us some things to kind of work out the other energy centers that we've talked about so far. What would be something that we're trying to work out on this one? What's something that we can
sending your
cleanse?
Awareness there.
So we send it there and we
and then
notice
you ask,
things
what
there.
What does this need? What does this need right now for me to feel my best or for this center to feel its best?
Okay.
Some other things that you can do, because especially women, or if you are in a relationship where you receive your partner in a sexual way, we are always, any sexual encounter, we're exchanging energy. And that's like the biggest exchange that we could possibly have with someone. So think of all the people that you've had sexual encounters with. You're receiving that energy from them. And men, you are receiving the energy from your partners as well. But with women or persons who are receiving their partner, you're literally receiving them physically and energetically. So if you're not disconnecting your energy from them, you're carrying their energy within you. So another thing that you can do to kind of clear out the gunk is simply set the intention. It's called a return to sender exercise. It's a really easy exercise. It's just an intention, a prayer. Yeah, I've talked about it a few times. Yep. And it's just simply saying, any energy that's not mine that I've picked up from other people, places, or situations, I now send back to wherever it came from, and I call all of mine back with love. And you can kind of put your hands over that womb space, that sacral space, and imagine some white or golden light going in to that space. Our imagination is linked to our energy field because the subconscious mind, which is connected to the nervous system, and that's how our energy field expresses itself physically, does not know the difference between what's real or what's imagined, right? So our imagination works with our energy field. So if we can imagine that we're sending light into that space, you might actually feel your hands getting hot. You might not, but it's still working. And high vibrating energy like white light or golden light, or even like a bright blue light, that can it can purify the space of your sacral center. Also, water is very purifying. The element of the sacral center is water. So taking Epsom salt baths, getting in salt water, going swimming, these are all very purifying. You could do like a bath ritual if you wanted to. That's very purifying to the space.
Travel to the beach or to an island. Go, hop in your pool, get on a pontoon boat. All great things. Yeah. Spray someone with a hose.
Or even when you're in the shower, just kind of imagine other people's energy is like, I always imagine like a gunky, muddy, mucky color. Just imagine it washing off of your body. And you can even take your hands and kind of like go down your body, like in a sweeping motion. You can start up by your arms and sweep off your arms, and then kind of sweep off other areas of your body. And imagine the water carrying that energy away. So you're cleansing that space, and then just refill your energy with whatever you want. You can refill it with an intention of love, of happiness. And then what you'll do is you'll just imagine, you can ask yourself, what color would this energy be? What color would a high vibrating energy be for me right now? And imagine that energy filling the space of your sacral center. Imagine yourself breathing it in through your entire body. Imagine yourself filling up with this energy, and then have it emanating out of you into the space around you as you just continue to fill up with it, and up and up and up until it consumes you, right? So imagination will be required here, but we want to do these exercises. I recommend doing them at least once a week. If you can do them more than that, then that's great. You'll get an intuitive in an intuitive rhythm of, okay, I feel like I need to do this. I feel like I should do that. But if you can do them regularly, you will shock yourself at how good you feel and what starts to shift in your reality. It might not happen immediately, but when it does happen, you're going to be like, oh my gosh, this is working. And then you're going to want to keep doing it over and over and over again. But we have to build this foundation first.
Yeah, that makes sense. I mean, so if we just bring attention to our different energy centers once a week, that seems fine. You know, it seems like that's straightforward enough to just bring attention, see what comes up, help clear some of those things as we're clearing everything else at the same time. Like, I mean, what's a good time? Either on the weekend or maybe a Thursday night. I always used to have a Thursday yoga that felt so good. Got me ready for the Friday. So that Friday wasn't even just like, okay, now I can start to relax. No, I can relax anytime. Can be a Thursday, can be a Tuesday. But, you know, finding something like that where you do a little bit of reset is always wonderful. It just feels lighter. The next day always feels lighter. So for me, I loved it where my Friday was even lighter and happier, because then, hey, who doesn't like a Friday?
Yeah. And so that is, you could have a day where you do this, and you could have every evening that you do this in the mornings. It's really whatever works for you. The point is to fold this into your lifestyle so it works for you, just so you stick with it consistently. That's the biggest thing with energy work. And also with energy work, it's like, it's so easy that people just think, okay, this is dumb, I'm not going to do it. But that's the point. It is easy. It doesn't have to be this big complicated thing. It can be as complicated as we want it to be. Hey, Charles, Carolyn, a bright blue light. Hey. What does that mean? Why bright blue? So how I've intuited this and what I've done as I've worked with it, like there's the white light. The white light is just like that clear, that like pure, clean crystal light, right? And then on the warmer side of the white light, it's like the golden light. On the cooler side of the white light, it's like the bluish version of the light. So it's just kind of whatever feels right for you, whatever you see, whatever you feel connected with. So it's just within that realm, that spectrum of warm, cool, white. There's the golden, there's the blue. They're all very purifying and cleansing frequencies. To me, blue feels more cleansing, whereas white feels more purifying. I know it's very similar things. It's just semantics at this point, but whatever feels good for you, use that. And to some people, they might want to use like a purple, and that's what feels good. The answer is just yes. Just use whatever feels good and feels in alignment with you. Don't overthink it, because it's probably going to change from day to day or week to week anyways. And as you continue to evolve and change, what you work with will evolve and change as well. But when you're just kind of imagining filling yourself up with energy or working with a light frequency, reminder, guys, we are composed of biophotons. We are composed of biophotons, meaning like we are composed of these photons that are reflecting light. So we are light beings. We are literally light. And so when we can work with different frequencies of light, we shift our vibrational frequency overall. And so what we can do is we can just ask what light, what color feels most supportive for me right now? What light or color feels like the most supportive for my root or my sacral or my heart or whatever. And just, you can ask what light or color feels the most cleansing. Maybe it won't be white, light blue, bright blue, or gold. Maybe it'll be orange, whatever. What light feels the most supportive, feels the most energizing, feels the most loving? Like I know when I'm working with frequencies of love, I'll work with pinks and roses and greens. Or when I'm working with the frequency of grounding, I'll work with like dark reds or light reds, or even like mud colors, like a light brown color. Or if I'm working with a frequency of authentic expression, sometimes that's white, sometimes that's blue, and I'll bring that into people's fields. So it really is just, this is where we get to have fun, and we get to just work with ourselves and see, okay, what feels good here for me? And this is where we build that self-trust with ourselves, right? I hope that answers it. And if you're seeing that color the most, then maybe that's like, oh, I want to purify myself. I want to cleanse myself. And you can always ask, what does this color mean to me right now?
And that's what I was going to say. What does it mean to you?
Yeah.
Not necessarily everyone else, because yes, light is its own thing and at different wavelengths of that. I could nerd out on light. I have an optical engineering degree. But the thing that I also like about it is, I don't know if you guys noticed, I wear different color rings at times. And so I've got all the different colors and they mean different things to me, right? And so it's just me communicating with my inner self with all of the energy that I am, that I want to express myself or remind myself of a certain thing or to have more of a certain type of energy in any given moment. So I use those rings in that way. But it's the same thing for you, Carolyn, where, yeah, you're seeing that light, don't think too much of it other than to know that you're noticing it. And that's an awesome first step. That's so much of what we try to achieve here is just to get a cursory knowledge of things so that we can start to have a conversation so that there's some education that can happen. And then you can just start to become functionally aware of things and you can start to notice things within yourself. And once you start to notice things, then you can decide as a human being, do I want to make a shift in something like that, right? And where do I want to go? And am I on that right path that's in alignment with everything that I'm trying to do? So most importantly, I applaud you for just seeing it as a bright blue light, Carolyn. I mean, that's super cool. And so just keep noticing that and just keep seeing if that evolves, if it's something for mood, if it's something that changes with your chakras, whatever. But then it's just your blue light buddy at that point, right? Because that is you. And if it does shift later at some point, you'll have some metric to notice that something has changed, something has shifted. Either you need something or something is emanating from you in a different way. So it's an awesome metric just to look at, but we're all different. Absolutely. Like Charles says, and everyone. Yeah.
Yeah. Everybody interprets differently.
I love it though.
Yeah.
She's so smart.
Thanks, Charles.
I love having elevated conversations about things.
Yeah. And how can this translate into like our everyday life? Well, if we want healthier relationships, we have to, one, start with ourselves. And sometimes a lot of times people that come to me, they come to me because they're at a point where they're like, I don't even know what I'm feeling anymore, right? Like, I don't know what I'm feeling. I don't know how to express it. I don't know how to communicate it. And when you work with your energy centers, you don't need to know. Because that's your logical mind that wants to know. That's
trying to rationalize it, understand it, put everything in its box to figure out what to do with it at this point, because process it. Where did it come from? How do I change it then if I understand all those things?
Yeah, because if you identify it, you can do all of those things. So thanks our logical mind. But our energy field and our nervous system, they don't have names for things. They just experience whatever they experience. We give these things the names, right? Yeah. So if we can just practice tuning into the sensations, this is in and of itself is a sacral center exercise, is tuning into the sensations of your body, recognizing what sensations your body is having when you're with that person, when you're doing that thing, when you're in that environment, what sensations are going through your body. Is there tightness? Is there expansion? Is there pleasure? Is there pain? Is there depression? Is there openness? Is there happiness? Is there a lightness or is there a heaviness? Does something feel clenching in your chest, or does something feel like you want to kind of scoot in a little closer? So if we can pay attention to these sensations, then we are literally using our energy centers to communicate with the external world. And that, to me, is something that if we can achieve, then, and we can start trusting that more than our mind, which I know is way easier said than done. But that's when we really start following our most aligned path, because through the sensational experience, like everything is sensational. Think about when you walk outside and you breathe and you're like, oh my gosh, it smells so good. You feel pleasure. Or when you see something that you enjoy, you feel like your body feels more open and relaxed, right? When you're with someone that you love, you feel like all of these tingly sensations in your body. At least I do with the love wave and stuff.
Yeah, maybe safer, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you
feel
just,
lots of
you
things.
feel more centered and grounded. But then when you're in an experience that, or a relationship or something that isn't fully aligned, you can feel that contraction in your body, but our mind will try to rationalize the contraction, especially if it likes the person that we're with, right? Or it wants to like the experience that we're having, right? So practice tuning into the sensations that you feel or that you're experiencing when you are doing something, when you're with someone, and let those lead you. That's your homework for this week. Let your sensations lead you. And then just check in with your energy centers and say, okay, what do I need today for my sacral to feel its best? Add on from the root as well. Do it while you're laying in bed. I've been doing this in the morning when I lay in bed before I get up. I'll just tune in real quick, see how my root's feeling, see how my sacral's feeling, see how, okay, what do I need today to support these centers? It might be something different. It might be the same thing. You never know. It might be the same thing every single day. It might be something different every single day. But just practice this, because I just want you guys to connect more deeply to your body. And if you're already doing this, if you already have some type of understanding of all of this, awesome. But this is like the foundations, like the basic fundamental things that we can never do enough of, right? And then from there, that's when we come in. That's when it comes in, like, how much can we trust ourselves, trust our relationship with the universe? Like, how can we keep our energy on par even when we are faced with some type of discomfort or altercation or whatever? Like, can we self-soothe, and can we kind of reel our energy back in? And if you have any experiences where you think of you're holding on to shame or embarrassment or guilt from, I would encourage you to do a cord cutting exercise. So this is really great. Like, if you are holding on to some type of negative emotion towards someone or something, past or present, whatever it might be, or if there's an area in your life that's being stalled, like whether it's with money, whether it's with love, whether it's with your health, whatever it is, I will encourage you to clean that slate energetically through a quick cord cutting experience. A cord cutting experience can be done many, many ways. I'll give you an example here, but if this does not resonate with you, don't do it, right? I've given you plenty of other exercises throughout this call. So what you can do is, one, we get to go old school here. Get a piece of paper and a pencil, draw a stick figure of you, a stick figure of the other person, if there is another person, on one side and on the other side. Draw 7 dots where all of your energy centers are. You can Google where those are if you're unfamiliar. On each of you, draw a line connecting them all, okay? And then what you're gonna do is just gonna rip that paper in half. You're going to write your name on it, write their name on it, draw the stick figures, and then rip the paper in half. And as you rip the paper in half, you can say that return to sender intention that I said a little bit ago, or another prayer, whatever feels good. But it's literally that simple. Yeah. It can literally be this simple. Another thing that you can do is you can use your imagination and visualize you and the other person, or you in the scenario. And then you can imagine, you can ask yourself, where am I connected to this person? Your body will respond. You will get an answer. You might feel a tension in your chest or your stomach or your throat, or your lower body might tense up or something. You might see where it's at. And wherever you get the answer, then I always imagine like a thick, dark cord. Imagine yourself just reaching down and pulling it out of you. And as you pull it out of you, then I want you to pull it out of them, see it fall to the ground, and it either goes up in flames or it goes poof, whatever you want it to do that. And then bring your hands to that part of your body, actually in real time, and imagine that high vibrating energy coming into this space, filling it with what you need, with love, with forgiveness, with hope, with whatever it is that feels really good for you. These are 2 really simple but powerful exercises that when you do, you are disconnecting your energy from whatever person, place, or thing that you are holding negativity onto, right? And when you are holding on to negativity with someone or something, it is going to prevent you from moving forward, because your subconscious mind isn't going to let you move forward. So this is why we want to clear that slate. Then we want to infuse our energy with whatever the energy is that we want to experience more of. We can send it to them as well. If we're doing the visualization, we can send it to them as well and just disconnect from them, right? So we can send them the good energy. We don't have to like them. We don't have to like the experience, but we can just send them the good energy, because if we put out negative energy, that's what we're going to get back. So if we put out positive energy, we're going to get that back. Right. And if we're infusing ourselves with it, we can give them some as well, because if we need it, they probably need it too.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So you can do that exercise, and that will disconnect you from any person, place, or situation that is keeping you stuck in a cycle or a loop. Right. Now, the caveat here is there might be multiple layers of this connection. So if it comes up again, just do it again. Right. Don't think about it. Just do it again. And then just keep sending yourself that positive energy. And this is where the consistency will come into play. So as you do that, then you will notice things will slowly but surely start to change in your life. And it might not just be with that person. Like that person may be representing something bigger in your life. So when we can clear the energy there and disconnect the energy there, call our energy back, put the energy into our field, what we want, then whatever that person was representing or that experience was representing, now we're experiencing that in a whole new frequency, right? And like sky isn't even the limit. There is no limit when it comes to working with our metaphysical, working with the quantum, which is working with energy.
Yeah, I love it. And the cool thing is that it can feel better instantly. Things can just start to feel better instantly. Like I'm just practicing it here while she's teaching all of us some of these things. And it just, it feels lighter. It feels cleansed in there, just putting that energy back to me. And then it feels so right to send that energy to the other person as well. Right? Because even though you might have hard feelings towards this person, we all need a little bit more love. And so I firmly know by giving more love out into that world, it just brings more love right back. So why not just be a love factory at the end of the day? Yeah, that's beautiful. Cool. Charles, you are saying a lot of nice things about our child and everything. So I have lots of love for you.
Yeah.
So I have to say that too.
Yeah. So
thank you.
So just take this week and connect with this energy center, right? If you want to build off the heart and the root, you totally can. If you just want to focus on the sacral, you totally can. But see how it plays into the relationship with yourself, the relationship with people in your life, the relationship with the experiences that you have, that you call into your life. And just look for, this is the big thing, you guys, look for evidence of this stuff working. Because our mind will constantly throw evidence at us of just like, you're an idiot. Why are you doing this? This isn't working, because it wants us to stay where we are, where we have been, because that's where it feels the safest. But our energy is meant to expand. It's meant to grow. It's meant to evolve. And when we're navigating that new territory, we have to look for evidence that this new territory is safe, that this new territory is welcoming. And that looks like if I'm working on abundance and I find a quarter on the ground, I'm celebrating the fuck out of that quarter. Or if I'm looking for more love and I get a random text message from my mom or my aunt saying how beautiful I am, I'm going to celebrate that. Or if I'm looking for more opportunity and someone lets me pull out in front of them in a line of traffic, I'm going to celebrate that, right? So look for evidence that this is working. That's the big piece that really grounds it into your being. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah. Because I mean, it's the whole noticing the car that you're just looking to buy.
Yes.
You've never seen this car. Now all of a sudden everyone has this red type of car that you're going to buy. Now I'm not special anymore. It's just your mind is awesome at tricking yourself. So just ask it to look for these things. And then, like she says, celebrate them. It's so wonderful. Just, that can be for some of us that just tend to have a busy day. That can just be a moment to notice that thing and be like, you know what? I am feeling so good right now. I'm feeling so grateful for everyone, everything to this point today. This is an awesome day, and money comes to me easily if I'm just seeing something like that, or love comes to me all around, like unexpectedly, all these things all around, whatever those things are that you're trying to notice. And it just feels better. I mean, it just feels better, and it makes life easier, and it attunes your subconscious. to these things that we want.
Yes.
And so it's saying you're on the right path. Good job, right? Because when you have a tiny year-old, however big they are, they need to be encouraged. They need to be led down that path because they don't know.
And
it's brand new.
Yeah, and you're
making new neural
encouraging
pathways.
your inner child.
Yeah, and we're all children
Right?
at the end of the day. So I mean, yes, treat yourself, especially you're a stubborn child. Your brain is a stubborn child that doesn't necessarily want to move or do what you want it to do. It's resisting. It's a cat with its claws into your flesh. So you hate it at the same time, so it's just, you have to do it with grace and with joy. And that's the easiest way to do it. Yeah. A tiny year-old. You like that? That just rolled off the tongue. Right. Yeah. Oh, I love it.
Yeah. So like when a child begins to walk, you celebrate every single step. You don't say, oh, you only got 2 steps.
Yeah,
why even bother? Right. So celebrate every single thing. Like look for that evidence. If you want to share it on social media and tag one of us, that would be great. We can help you celebrate, because we both know that celebrating yourself or celebrating the small things are not the easiest. That's why we have a celebration jar that we created this year. And even when we started dating a few years ago, I was working with a coach at the time, and I told him, I'm like, I have a hard time celebrating myself. So my coach gave me this assignment to celebrate small things more. And he's like, I have a hard time celebrating myself too. So then we were like on this celebration rampage with each other, where we would help each other celebrate each other. And that's when you did the putt-putt at Nellens, and he wanted to celebrate.
Oh, no kidding. That's why, because I was trying to support you. That makes a lot of sense at that time. Yeah. Yeah.
And you got the hole in one, and then you're like, oh, I'm so excited. But I wasn't around. My sister was, and he was like, why is she not excited for me? That was the first time we met our group of friends. We had just talked about celebrating each other, and it was the first time he was like really like integrated with our friends. It was for our Summer Olympics, and that we started in 2020.
Workout / drink-a-thon.
Yeah. And
very athletic.
And it was like this week that week that we had really started to celebrate the small things. And they have this little, what was it, like 6 foot like putt-putt thing.
Yeah.
And it was really hard to get a hole in one. And so I was
so maybe it was more like 12 feet or something. Yeah.
Yeah.
But anyway.
Whatever. But I was
or we really suck.
Somewhere else, and he was hitting it. My sister and I had the same color hoodie on. And she was like, she walked downstairs and she walked outside right as he got the hole in one, and he was so excited, and he like looked at her to celebrate, and he's like, wait, why isn't she celebrating with me? And that's how he knew that she wasn't me, because he almost got her confused. It's the only time the
only time I have messed them up. And it was out of the corner of my eye.
Yes,
and we were wearing the same thing. Slightly drunk.
Yeah, we had been drinking
on the path to that.
Yeah, it was later in the day, and
we were celebrating everything. So I was just jumping right into that.
And she didn't celebrate him, and so she's like, "Wait, this isn't Monique."
Because
she
like
was
instantly
celebrating
before
me
even
right
seeing her completely with my eyes, my body just knew like this isn't right. That's not her, right? And that's what we're kind of talking about too. It's just like you can sense. Probably was my sacral at that point, right? Because it's relationships and it's communications and things with others, and it was just like it knew. It's like, wait a second, I'm excited, but it's like something's off. What's off with you? Oh, you're not. Yeah, don't tell Monique. And I mixed you two up.
It's just funny, but yeah. So look for that evidence this week. Celebrate yourself this week. Let us know if you have any questions. We will try to be live next week, but my belly is just so big. It's getting very uncomfortable until this baby comes. So we'll keep you guys posted, but let us know your experiences. Share them with us throughout the week, or just come back and comment on this video if you want, and we'll respond.
Yeah. And hey, any of her clients, reach out to me, message me. Any of you guys that like her, that have done good things, I want to talk to you guys and talk about bringing you on to some of these things. Maybe we can even do that when she's not even available. So we can just chat. We'll just chat about things. If you guys don't mind chatting with me, I'd love to learn some things about all of you. And it'll help calm me down as she's freaking out about a small human that's going to be coming out of her. So
bye, Debbie.
Yeah, absolutely. Cool. So yeah, just reach out to us because like she says, yeah, we'll celebrate with you. I love celebrating, right? Like anything. And it does help. And it's nice to have someone else, training wheels celebrating. It's funny, you think it's not that difficult, but when you really ask yourself, you're like, I probably don't celebrate myself that much or like at all. And especially when there's things that you've been working towards and you finally get that sometimes you're so past that, you're just all ready for the next thing. You've almost expected yourself to be there. So then instantly you don't feel those happy things anymore. It's like, holy crap, all that work. Come on. We definitely have to celebrate some of those awesome things. So that's one more thing I'm getting better and better at. And it's fun. Why not? I'll shoot some silly string over here, maybe even at her to celebrate you. Boom. All right, everyone. I hope you have an awesome rest of your Monday here, a great week ahead. Hopefully we'll see you again soon. But yeah, reach out to me and we're going to be talking about some other fun things in the future anyway, and finishing up all the other chakras. Boom, boom. We got to get our education, how to tune into everything. So thank you so much for everything. Bye. See ya.